Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be doing another deep dive. And this time, um,
Looking forward to it.
yeah, this one's going to be a little different, right? We're
Mhm.
only looking at one source this time.
Right.
And it's really all about, how to live your best life.
Yeah, I'm making the most of it.
Exactly. And there were some parts of this that really resonated with me. Um, One of the things that kind of jumped out at me was this whole concept of life being like a university.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're all students in the big school of life. What do you think about that idea?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good way to look at it. You're constantly learning, you're constantly, you
Don't forget to
know,
test it.
being tested. Yeah, exactly. And you got to figure out, how to pass those tests. And, not every test is going to be easy.
Right. And sometimes you even fail a few, right?
Exactly. And those are sometimes the best learning experiences.
Yeah. So sometimes you learn more from the failures than you do from the successes, right?
Absolutely.
So, and it kind of ties into it another point that this piece really hammered home, which is that, life is temporary.
Yeah.
It's not going to last forever. And sometimes I think we forget that.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just get caught up in the day to day and not really think about the big picture.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's why memento mori is such a powerful concept. Remembering that you're going to die.
It sounds kind of morbid, but
It sounds morbid, but it can actually be very freeing because it forces you to confront your own mortality and makes you realize, what's really important.
right. So like how can we use that knowledge to like actually motivate us, to live better lives?
I think it all comes down to priorities, right? When you realize that your time is limited,
Yeah.
you start to think about what you really want to do with your life.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you want to make? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
And this source actually talks about that too, about embracing your individuality and trying to leave the world a little bit better than you found it. There's this one line, I even wrote it down. It says, you have something that you can be doing to make it impactful for others to see.
Yeah, it's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people feel like they're not special or that they don't have anything to offer the world, but that's just not true.
Right. Everyone has unique talents and
Yeah.
abilities.
Yeah.
And, even if it seems small, you can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to remember that making an impact doesn't have to be about, curing cancer or achieving some grand feat.
Right.
It can be about something as simple as, helping an elderly neighbor with their groceries or volunteering at a local soup kitchen.
Just being kind to people,
Sp-
smiling at a stranger.
Exactly. Those little things can have a ripple effect, and you never know how far they'll reach.
So, we've talked about life being temporary and about making an impact, but there's another really important thing that runs through this whole piece, and that's the power of now. There's this really beautiful quote that I just have to share. It says, yesterday and today and tomorrow are in three different universes, and the only universe you exist in right now is the now, in this moment, is this reality.
Wow.
I know, right? It just gives you chills.
It's very profound.
It is. But it's so easy to get caught up in, thinking about the past or worrying about the future
Oh, absolutely.
that we forget to actually
Yeah.
be present in the moment.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest challenges we face in modern society. There's so much stimulation, so much information coming at us from all directions that it's hard to just slow down and be still.
Right. It's like our minds are constantly racing.
Exactly.
So how do we
Yeah.
how do we combat that? How do we actually learn to live in the now?
Well, I think mindfulness is a big part of it.
Okay.
Taking the time to just, pay attention to your breath, to your body, to your surroundings without judgment.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't have to be this big formal meditation practice. It can be as simple as, taking a few minutes each day to just sit and focus on the sounds around you.
Right. Or even just like when you're eating. Really taste your food.
Exactly.
Instead of just shoveling it in while you're scrolling through your phone.
Be present in the moment.
And this source also talks about something that I think is really important, and that's, the fact that negativity is just a part of life.
Right.
You can't avoid it, but you can control how you react to it.
Absolutely.
There's no like magic formula for, achieving perfect inner peace.
Right.
But there are definitely things we can do to help us cope with the tough times.
Right.
Yeah.
I think resilience is key. Being able to bounce back from setbacks and not let the negative stuff drag you down.
And that takes practice.
It does.
It's like a muscle that you have to work out.
Exactly.
And one thing that I've found helpful is to really focus on the things that I'm grateful for.
Oh, yeah. Gratitude is huge.
Because even when things are tough, there's always something to be grateful for.
Absolutely.
And just taking a few minutes each day to appreciate those things can really shift your perspective.
It's powerful stuff.
So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought from this piece.
Okay.
It says, some things are better off left alone. What do you think that means?
Well, I think it could mean a lot of things, right? It could be about letting go of grudges, forgiving people who have wronged you.
Oh, yeah.
It could be about letting go of past regrets, not dwelling on things you can't change.
Or even material possessions, right? Sometimes we hold on to things that we don't really need and they just end up weighing us down.
Absolutely.
So what are some things in your life that might be better off left alone?
That's a great question. I think I'm going to have to give that some thought.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a real pleasure exploring this piece with you.
Likewise, always a great conversation.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya, bye.
Bye.
Bye.